Hey, I'm Patrick Stegall. I'm a Memphis criminal defense lawyer. Today we're going to talk about how to get somebody out of jail. If somebody you know has been arrested and is in jail, you may be wondering, what do I do? What steps do I go through here? So I'm going to explain that. If somebody's in jail, then there are two ways that they can get released. If they've been arrested and they're sitting in jail, there are basically two ways they can get released. One is what we call ROR, or release on recognizance. This is for lower level offenses where somebody is taken into custody, but after being booked and processed, the judge will grant them to be ROR, or released on recognizance. Basically, you don't have to pay a bond to get out this way. You don't have to pay any money. You are released on your own recognizance, and you are told when to come to court. So there's no need to make any late night phone calls over this. That person is simply released after they've been processed. And like I said, this usually happens in lower level type offenses. You're not going to see it in violent crimes. It really depends on the court, on the jurisdiction, and what are their standards kind of for handling these types of things. So an ROR is one way. The other way is that a bond is actually set by the judge, and that person or you, their family, whoever, needs to pay that bond to get them out. See, the whole purpose of bond is to ensure that the defendant will appear in court. And to do so, they are required to put up some money in order to get released. So bond works a couple of different ways. But if a bond is set by the judge, then it's got to be paid, and it can either be done as what we call a cash bond. That is the whole amount paid to the court. Now that's a deposit. Okay, that's a refundable deposit, which means that you get that back not until the case is over, which could be quite a while, could be years, but you do get it back. And if there are any fines or court costs, those will be taken out of the cash bond, so you get the remainder back. The other way is getting a bonding company or bail bondsman, and you pay them a fee based on the bond, and then they put up the bond to get the person out. So cash bond, pay the whole amount, and of course it depends on the amount of the bond. Now sometimes you don't see this too often, but sometimes, especially in major cases, and if there are serious allegations and it's a serious crime, the judge will order that only a cash bond can be paid. Like if the defendant is going to bond out, they got to pay the whole amount. Sometimes you see that if the court feels that the accused is perhaps a flight risk based on the serious allegations, then the court may order that only a cash bond, meaning you got to put the whole amount if you want to get out. When you get a bondsman, typically they charge 10% fee. So if it's a $10,000 bond, you can either pay the $10,000 as a cash bond, you'll get that back minus fines, fees, court cost when the case is over, or of that $10,000, you pay $1,000, 10%, to a bonding company, to a bail bondsman. They get the person out, and you go from there. That fee that you pay to the bonding company, you do not get that back. Okay, that is not refundable like the cash bond is. That is their fee for assuming the risk of bonding this person out, because now they're on the hook for the bond. So those are the ways. And ROR is the easiest and simplest and least expensive way, because there's no money that changes hands in that situation. If you've got the means for a cash bond, you can do that, go straight through the court, or deal with the bondsman and pay their 10% or so and get the person released. So that, in a nutshell, is how you get somebody out of jail. If you are in this situation, give me a call. I'll be glad to help. Thanks for watching.